My. It's a windy and very blustery evening, late night. Here in SoCal, the ocean here is chopping. But I'm not, unfortunately, if you know what I'm saying. Because it's time, ladies and gentlemen, to build yet another great wall of metal. That's right. Tonight's agenda is a very simple one, as you may have already figured out, albeit very important to somebody like myself, who went out on a limb last week to attempt to research what exact percentage of my metal albums, studio albums, of course, not talking about greatest hits or live albums or compilations, but just how many metal albums actually have songs as title tracks. Yes. I research stuff like that. I guess I'm a geek, but I'm a metal geek. But I'll tell you my findings about that later. But for now, let's explore a bit of heavy music history tonight on the Great Wall of Metal. Let's run down some of the most amazing and historic title tracks that were so inspirational that these bands named some of their greatest albums, some of their greatest works of art after the songs, right? Because at the heart of every great heavy metal album, there must be a great title track, in this guy's opinion. And I am the heavy metal wizard, and I've got my 9 Nazgul friends. So we're going to be here for a while tonight. Kicking things off, of course, was our intro music. That was that loud, noisy thing you heard at the beginning. That was Boris, title track from their album Deer, from back in 2017. Of course, Japanese band Boris, well known for being very avant-garde, very noisy. And then we segued that into Accept, classic, of course, Metal Hearts. The music's going to do the talking tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Not me. Well, I'll do some. Let's do another old time. An oldie but goodie. Don't Break the Oath. Oh, yes. You better believe it. Merciful Fates on the Great Wall of Metal. of Metal! From a band who, with every single album they release, becomes better and better. They get catchier, but they still stay heavy. That's Red Fang, ladies and gents, from Portland, Oregon. Fifth album, Arrows, was released about, 3 years ago, something like that. And that's the title track. Arrows, remember it. It's damn good. We did some Accept in there, Metal Heart, like I said. That's off their sixth album, 1985. And that's an album with many classic tracks. Midnight Mover, Dogs on Leads, Screaming for a Love Bite, right? That's got some of Wolf Hoffman's greatest guitar work on it, as far as I'm concerned. And an album that was sandwiched between two other classics, Balls to the Wall and Russian Roulette, of course. And we also did Merciful Fate, which always reminds me of junior high school, because that's when everyone got into King Diamond and Merciful Fate and early Metallica and so on and so forth. And it just rings a bell for me. That's middle school. It's the Great Wall of Metal tonight, live in SoCal. I'm the Heavy Metal Wizard, and we are here, of course, in the smoky and, of course, never quite working correctly Gotcha Metal Studios. Let's get a couple of real hardcore classic type tunes on right now. We'll start out with a real gem. It's Agnostic Front.
Systematic static, can't stop with a sense on. Check for the mic and I still get it going on. Making my
Now, here's a zany fact. That is the only Judas Priest album, ladies and gentlemen, that was produced, written, and recorded in the 1990s. Jugulator, of course, with Ripper Owens on vocals, because the album before that was Painkiller, which, although released in 1990, was written, for the most part, pre-production, done in 1989. And the album after Jugulator, the often derided Demolition, was written and released in 2001. So the only 90s album, true 90s album from Judas Priest is that one, Jugulator, as we do the title track on the Great Wall of Metal tonight. A bunch of debut album title tracks before that. Agnostic Front, Victim in Pain from back in 1984, Roger Moret, Vinny Stigma. And then 10 years after that, Downset with their debut album, song named after themselves, and the album just called Downset from 1994. You know, I love bands that do their own theme song per se, right? Bands like Iron Maiden and Overkill, Motorhead, Black Sabbath, Body Count, and you could add Downset to that list right there. And then Pest Control from their debut album, Don't Test the Pest, came out last year, or maybe the year before. Not quite sure. I am the Heavy Metal Wizard. They're making a mess of the Gotcha Metal Studios tonight. I threw my coffee in the microwave, and have you ever done this? Have you ever went to put it in for 30 seconds, but you hit 3 minutes by mistake, and you turn around, and the shit's boiling, and the microwave is just a big brown stain, like someone shat themselves in there? Well, that's what happened to me just now. Coffee ruined. Microwave looks like it's ruined as well. Hey, shit happens, right? I mean, no pun intended. We're at the Gotcha Metal Studios, like I said, here in SoCal tonight. We're doing the Great Wall of Metal title track edition. As we move on, let's go back to the late 80s for one that we got to put an asterisk on. Try to follow me here, right? We're talking about King's X. They released Out of the Silent Planet. Great debut album back in 1988. But the song Out of the Silent Planet didn't come out till the next year on the Gretchen Goes to Nebraska CD. But I love it so much that I'm going to play it tonight, because it is, in definition, a title track, just off the wrong album. Doug Pinnick, Jerry Gaskill, Ty Tabor. Let's go, little King's X on the Great Wall of Metal tonight.
Son becomes the story. beside the reason that of terror dies. I saw what cannot be seen. She spoke to me. Take what you learned, set it free. See what you'll see.
I have to be totally honest with y'all out there. That was the first Gojira album that I fully digested and loved when it first came out. It really wasn't until Magma back in, late 2015 or 16 that I really fell in love with this band. And here we are now, almost 10 years later, and lo and behold, I mean, they're one of everyone's favorite band, right? Magma, that's the disc, baby. I think it might be. I have stated in the past, and I stick with it, that might be the best metal album of the 2010s. Shooting Star is on that CD, Stranded, Lowlands, The Cell. Are you kidding? It's great shit. Great Wall of Metal, Heavy Metal Wizard from the Gotcha Metal Studios tonight here in SoCal on this blustery, windy, late night. No joke. I promise you that. What was before the Gojira? King's X, ladies and gents. Out of the Silent Planet. Title track, but not really, because the song wasn't released until King's X's second album, Gretchen Goes to Nebraska, but we put it in with an asterisk tonight, because I am the heavy metal wizard, and make no bones about that. Doing all title tracks tonight, and here's one that's very famous, and you'll know what we're talking about. Let's dedicate that one to all you Val Kilmer fans out there and to the memory of Val Kilmer, who passed away earlier today at age 65. And it's a sad day. I know he'd been sick for quite some time. Val Kilmer, legend. Played Jim Morrison, the Doors movie. Batman. He was in Heat with De Niro and Pacino. Tombstone, right? Got to give a little shout-outs in honor of Val Kilmer tonight. A little Mastodon in there. Once Around the Sun from 2014, sixth album, and the most commercial effort to date from the mighty Mastodon. And, of course, those guys in the news as Brent Hines, the lead guitar player, amicably, supposedly, left the band. But was it really friendly? How can it be friendly if he left the band like 30 days before they played the Tool in the Sand Festival? How can that be? If it was amicable, he would have left after the show, or at least given the band enough time to find a permanent guitar player. I mean, they did land this gem of a guy named Ben Heller off of YouTube. Apparently the guy's amazing. I haven't seen footage yet, but it must be pretty cool to be, jamming out on YouTube one day, get a call from the Mastodon guys. Hey, you want to fill in front of 10,000 or 20,000 people? Before Mastodon, we did Megadeth, Rust in Peace title track from what I say is the best Megadeth album. Really not going out on a limb there. Classic lineup, Dave Mustaine, Marty Friedman, David Ellefson, and Nick Menza. I think when it's all said and done, 100 years from now, most people will say that's their best album. Probably will be one of the 5 greatest metal albums ever recorded. Holy Wars, Hangar 18, Torpedo of Souls, 5 Magics. I mean, come on! I don't think Peace Sells is better. It's close. And so far, so good, so what? But I think it's Rust in Peace! All right, let's get a little bit local, or shall I say regional, with this next one. SoCal band. It's been around from the late 90s. And here's the title track from their very first EP, Let It Burn. Talking about Nebula. It's on the Great Wall of Metal. Heavy Metal Wizard. Going way back. And I mean way back. To Deftones' second album, Around the Fur. And what I consider to be the last full-on metal album from Deftones. As the follow-up, White Pony, was sort of half and half metal, you know, progressive alternative rock, whatever you want to call it. And then from then there on, they've kind of experimented with various things. But Around the Fur, like Adrenaline, all metal all the time. I am the Heavy Metal Wizard. Great Wall of Metal title track edition tonight. We're running through them with gangbusters like Speed. Yes, Mastodon in there. We did Wolfmother. That was New Crown from Wolfmother's third album, which was the follow-up to Cosmic Egg, which was the follow-up to the debut, if you can count. And that album, New Crown, a lot of fans complained, saying it was too lo-fi. I dig it. I love that shit. And prior to that, we did Nebula, talking about lo-fi. Let It Burn from back in 1998. Eddie Glass, the only remaining member of Nebula. They're a great band. If you ever get a chance to check those guys out. You want a true jammin' rock and roll show. Go check out Nebula in concert if they still tour. I think they do, as a matter of fact. I'm going to go way back for this next one because we got a few more, and these are real special late-night style heavy metal tracks right here. I'm going to go back to 1992 when I was living in New Jersey. One of the bands that gigged around all the time in the tri-state area, the band was Warrior Soul, and they put out a bunch of awesome CDs back in the early, mid, up until late 90s, actually. Last Decade, Dead Century, Drugs God of the New Republic, Space Age Playboys, Chill Pill. Then they went away for a while, and they put out a bunch of more recent albums in the 2010s, you know. Anyway, I love me some Warrior Soul, and I'm going to do the title track to an album which came out back in 1992. Oh, this is my heyday, ladies and gentlemen. It's called Salutations from the Ghetto Nation. And if you like your rock raw, if you like your, hybrid progressive punk metal with an urban landscape, kind of like Rage Against the Machine, but East Coast style, with no hip-hop influences. That's Warrior Soul on the Great Wall of Metal.
It's like a gun show. You're going downtown, gonna lock you up there, Lord.
Corey Clark and Warrior Soul, ladies and gentlemen. Salutations from the Ghetto Nation! Right here on the Great Wall of Metal, live from the Gotcha Metal Studios, here in a windy SoCal this evening. I am the Heavy Metal Wizard and bringing you the title track edition. Gotta throw the Warrior Soul type stuff out there every so often. Gotta keep everybody honest. All right, we got a few more. I mean, it's getting late night. You guys and gals, I see some gals out there, you're all troopers. You have true metal nuggets. That's right. Talking about you, Scotty, and you, Charlene, and who else? Fairy Girl. Who else is out there? Lassie, Kunapkin, I don't know, a bunch of crazy MFers out there, super late night on a Tuesday. We're all going to be late for school. All right, let's kick an epic track right now. Let's go back to the year 2000. Let's do Dope Throne. Not the band, the song of Electric Wizard. Oh, yeah, title track Heaven right here. Maybe title track Hell. For Electric Wizard, but nonetheless, this one's a banger, as they say. Great Wall of Metal. Wow. Well, goddamn. Now that's some late night heavy metal for you right there. Dope Throne, title track, third album from the mighty Electric Wizard. We'll send that one out to all the Fairy Girls friends out there in the UK. They're big Electric Wizard gals and guys. I mean, on any other night, that would be the perfect way to end a Great Wall of Metal or or any stream for that matter, but not on this night. We got one more special one, the best for last, by the way. But boy, what a playlist this evening. Great Wall of Metal, the title track edition tonight. We shall have to do this one again. I love playing title tracks. It keeps things really simple. And being a wizard, you know, we like things simple. That's the magic for simple people like myself. This track is called The Alchemist. Now, I'm not talking about the Iron Maiden song, and I'm not talking about the Blue Oyster Cult song, because Iron Maiden and Blue Oyster Cult don't have albums named The Alchemist, but this band does. Yes, they do. And if you like, you know, bands like Led Zeppelin, you know, epic style hard rock and metal bands, or even if you like, you know, early Rush, you know, Fly By Night to Farewell to Kings era Rush, well, then you're going to love this treat. Because this song, as I said, is called The Alchemist. It's the band Witchcraft out of Sweden. If you haven't heard this song in your life, you really want to check this out. Got one of the best final couple minutes that you're ever going to hear in hard rock and heavy metal. So without any further ado, to end up tonight's stream, to end up the Great Wall of Metal, the title track edition, live from the Gotcha Metal Studios, it's Witchcraft with The Alchemist. Do it up. Good night, everybody.
I've seen great kingdoms, I've seen them rise and fall. I'm 1,000 years old, maybe 1,000 more. The story's now forgotten, the paper's long gone dry. The ashes of the magician is spread with the wind and fire. I'm not afraid I can blow your mind. The trees are stark, shake like leaves. The garden is under siege. The stone paint wall, the tenant speaks. This holy man, the alchemist. I can blow your mind. I can blow your mind. Put a word in my mouth and watch me swallow. Dig a hole into the ground. The funeral orchestra. Slow down, your pace is high. Brutalized by one man's pace. soldier.